You've done it again. You're standing directly in front of someone you've met at least 3 times. Maybe 4, and their name is just gone. Not even hovering at the tip of your tongue, just completely, cleanly absent. Like it was never filed anywhere in the first place. And the worst part isn't even the forgetting. I've been feeling incredibly overwhelmed lately. It's like everything is closing in. Desperately hoping someone else in the room says their name first. Or that their phone rings. Or that the building catches fire. We've all been there, sure. But the people who do this most frequently are not careless or rude. And they are almost certainly not as unintelligent as they've been silently led to believe. There's actually something very specific happening in their brains. And once you understand it, you'll never feel guilty about it the same way again. So, let's start with when you meet someone new. Your brain is doing an enormous amount of work simultaneously. Reading their face, registering tone, and figuring out context. Calculating where you stand socially, and whether this person likes you. Your working memory is essentially juggling 6 things at once. And into that exact moment of cognitive chaos, someone hands you a single arbitrary sound. Hi there, I'm EM, and I'm happy to be here to introduce our new feature. Kevin doesn't mean anything. It doesn't connect to anything you already know. It doesn't trigger a concept, an image, a feeling, or an association. It just sits there, isolated in a brain that is frankly too busy to babysit it. Psychologists actually have a name for why this happens. In 1987, researchers McQueenie and Ellis published a study on the baker/baker paradox. They told one group a person was a baker, and another that their surname was Baker. The people who learned the occupation remembered it far more easily. Same word, completely different retention. Because the word baker as a job activates a whole web of associations. As a name, it activates nothing. It floats there, rootless. Names are semantically empty, and your brain prefers things that mean something. Think about the last funeral you attended. You probably remember the smell of the flowers, the specific silence in the room. But you don't remember what was written on the order of service. Because your brain made a decision about what mattered, and it wasn't the printed text. Names are the order of service. Everything else about a person is the funeral. Now, where it might get a little uncomfortable. A significant portion of chronic name forgetters are people who are extremely in their own heads. While the other person is introducing themselves, these people are internally narrating. Am I making enough eye contact? Is this handshake too firm? The name enters, briefly, and then the internal monologue bulldozes straight over it. This is actually documented. There's a phenomenon called the next in line effect. People waiting to speak in a group showed dramatically reduced memory for what the person directly before them said. They're editing themselves in real time. People who live with social anxiety are essentially stuck in that mode permanently. Never quite here, always half a step into what comes next. Which means the moment a name is actually offered to them, they're already somewhere else. If that's you, here's the reframe. You don't have a memory problem. You have a preoccupation problem. Those are very different things. There's also something worth saying about the people on the other end of this. Having your name forgotten, especially repeatedly, lands like a small but pointed message. The brain doesn't always take the rational approach. The person who forgot your name probably thought about the conversation you had afterwards. Because their brain was cataloging everything except the label. The name was always the least of it. What you remember about people, the real stuff, the texture of who they are, that part, that's still there. If you're interested in exploring some of my explanations further, I've put together a collection of books. And if you enjoy content like this, consider subscribing and turning on the notification bell. So you don't miss future uploads.